Hello, Devlin Bishop here with you, and welcome to my pirate radio show. And yes, it's another Christmas edition. And I'm excited because these Christmas shows have been great because I've been having people I really like having, and I didn't know if I could get this guy, and here he is. If you are in the Hamilton area, you may actually know who this guy is because he is I would say he's pretty well known because every time I mention his name, people are all like, oh, I've seen him. He's hilarious. Or, he's infamous. Maybe he's infamous. I can't even remember the first time we met. It's probably at the staircase. I know a couple people people who have been on my podcast that I think he knows, like Gary Reed, Dave Marshall. I think you may have went to school with these people. But he does stand-up. He is an innovator. He's got lots of projects on the horizon. I can't wait to see how they turn out because they sound amazing. I believe he does a kids show. He'll talk about that. I don't want to screw things up. And this guy makes me laugh. I may not remember how I met him, but one of the times I remember most is we did an improv version of the old TV series Match Game. And he had me in stitches because he did this beautiful Richard Dawson impersonation that just the fact that I knew somebody who could do a Richard Dawson impersonation, and it was beautiful. It was like Richard was right there with me. I just knew this guy he keeps me in stitches. I was walking out of Value Village. We talked about Halloween pop culture for 45 minutes on this cold October day, and it was hilarious. And I decided I'm going to see if I can get him to talk Christmas pop culture on the podcast. Without further ado, my co-host, Mr. Larry Smith.
Ho, ho, ho.
It's like Santa coming to town.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Great to be here. Wow, what an introduction. I actually feel like I'm important now.
People know who you are, though. You've been around.
Yeah. Oh, no, I've been around. I feel like Barry Manilow. I've been around forever, and I've told the very first joke. Yeah, I've been doing comedy in Hamilton since 1984.
So people know who you are.
Since
I
89.
bet you people know who you are. I'm sure I'm going to get more than the 17 people I normally get.
Do you know what's funny? Do you know where more people recognize me? I'm talking like I'm Tom Hanks or something. Where more people recognize me? Niagara Falls and St. Catharines. Because I used to do the House of Comedy at least twice a month.
Oh, okay. So you became a celebrity.
So it was like, if you went to a comedy show, I was probably the one there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, good. I could get some viewers from there. I need that. I need that.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, I'm going to let all 5 of my friends on Facebook know when this airs. And I have a fan page up now.
Yeah, you have a fan
Larry
page.
Smith Comedy on Facebook, so go to it.
Is that the official thing? Because we'll have to look for it. We're going to put a link.
I got a buddy of mine.
We're gonna link.
I got a buddy of mine. He has a hot sauce company, and through his hot sauce company, he's sponsoring, trying to get my stuff going in the new year.
Nice.
So he's setting me up a website right now.
Are you allowed to promote the name of the hot sauce?
Yeah.
Do it.
It's the Steam Powered Pepper Company.
Sweet.
And I just designed their 4 new labels. They're
nice.
4 Larry cartoon labels.
I forgot you're actually an awesome cartoonist.
Oh, thank you.
I have one of your pieces. It's just we're moving all around.
Whore. I sell my pictures after the show.
You do. You still sell stand-up, and then instead of getting like T-shirts like other comedians might sell, you sell your art.
Cartoon art. That's my excuse for doing the new show in the new year, where I'm going to do the live cartooning on the stage, because I'm going, see, now it makes sense that I'm a comedian selling art at his shows instead of people going,
go.
Really? You sell pictures? Ain't you got a DVD?
Now I'm looking forward to getting to know you here. So we're going to interview you here. So where were you born? Sorry,
Hamilton, Ontario, St. Joe's Hospital, February 9th, 1966.
Ooh, he's brave when he gives the full year.
Me and my sister were both born at St. Joseph's, and my brother was born at the Henderson.
Okay.
So growing up, we used to tell him that the reason she and I were born at a Saints hospital was only planned children could be born at a Saints hospital. A third child that slipped through, they said, oh, no, you didn't plan on having David. You'll have to have him on the mountain. That'll make a 6-year-old cry.
Yeah, it would. It might make a 16-year-old cry.
Yeah, we told him he wasn't going to heaven.
So he was the traumatized.
Yeah, kids born at Henderson, I said, go to limbo. You may not go to hell, Dave, but you're going to limbo. No Saints Hospital for you.
Was your family like a humorous family, or?
My
This
mom,
is a strange question. Now that I say it.
my mom is funny.
Okay.
My mom's very funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that where you get your comedy from? You think?
My grandpa was an oddball. Right? I think I always wanted to be like my grandpa because...
So was he like a funny oddball, or was he just one of those quirky uncles that...
He was just funny enough that he was always in a good mood and people were always happy to see him.
Nice.
And I noticed that if you were kind of that guy, you know what I mean? People would always be happy to see you. And I thought, what a way to go through life, man. People are always happy to see you. You know? My mom's super funny. My dad's funny in his own way. He's like, my mom's funny in a goofy way. My dad's funny in a make a comment way.
Yeah,
It's funny. Like when he meets people who've just gotten married, he used to say, now do me a favor, tell me, which one of you is getting the better end of the deal? Because I know with my wife, I got the better end of the deal because there's always somebody who's taking faith on the other person, you know, stuff like that. But no.
And what about the sister and the one that's not going to heaven?
My sister's funny, you know, like people are funny. She's got a sense of humor. She's not boring or whatnot. Yeah. My brother Dave can be funny. I'm sure he's funny among his friends. But one of the greatest moments in my life, you know, do you have brothers?
I do. I have two brothers.
So you know what brother rivalries
are.
In pecking order in the family. The greatest moment ever was at a Sunday dinner where my brother told an off-color joke. Right?
Okay.
And then my dad smacks him in the back of the head and says, "You don't talk like that at my table, David." And my brother goes, "Larry says stuff like that all the time." And then my dad turned, can I swear?
Yeah.
My dad turned to him and went, he goes, "Larry does it all the time and you don't smack him." And my dad goes, "That's because your brother's fucking funny, David. You're not funny." That was the greatest moment of my life. You know, the hockey player brother. I finally went, ooh, I score with Dad on humor, though. Screw you, David.
Nice. It's nice when the parents defend you.
Yeah.
So, what were you like were you like the class clown in high school, or?
High school, yes. Grade school, I was the school punching bag.
Oh, jeez. So you had to learn how to be funny. I better use my humor.
Yeah, I always had an appointment at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There was someone I was supposed to meet in the schoolyard so they could prove how tough they were by beating up a little anemic 90-pound kid. But everything flipped. I was going to Lloyd George at the time, and they cut out grades 6, 7, 8 at Lloyd George. So all those kids at Lloyd George, where I had been the new kid for 2 years, now all had to transfer to Queen Mary. So now there's like 100 new kids going to that school. So it was kind of like fresh start. I was president of my grade school grade 8 class.
Nice.
And by the end of high school, this is why I always tell people with bullying, it can turn on a dime. I was president for 2 years, of Delta High School. And I was on the school radio station, and I did stand-up at, the talent shows and cabarets and stuff. So that was great. So I was, kind of like a class clown.
Yeah.
Because I've always never want to be the center of attention. But if you're going to give me a platform, I'm going to use it to my best advantage, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because everybody goes, oh, all comics want to be center of attention. And I'm like, no. Some of them, it's just if you're all going to look at me, I'm going to do something so you don't get mad.
Yeah, no. I totally get that.
Be entertaining.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
You know, if you're being funny, suddenly all the tension goes out of the room, maybe. You know?
So in high school, when you became the class, did you get all the girls and stuff? I know we grew up in a different generation where the jocks still mostly got all the girls.
It was cool in grade 12 and grade 13 when I was performing at comedy clubs, and you could say to a girl in grade 10 or grade 11, do you want to come to my show with me on Friday night? And she'd go, I don't know. And I'd go, you'll get served. So, because they were serving me even though I was underage, because Larry's doing jokes up there and stuff. He must be at least 19.
Yeah.
But, I took a girl, Barb Armstrong, once. I went, hey, I can get you drinks,
Barb, I hope you're listening to that.
Yeah, she went Delta. You can have one date. You can hang out in
Didn't go well, or just you were different people?
I'm flighty when it comes to relationships. I was always one of those guys that I want the girl, it's the girl that nobody thinks I can get, and then I get the girl nobody thinks I can get, and then within 2 weeks I'm fucking bored, and then I start ignoring her, and she resents me and dumps me.
Oh,
that was
at least you know how it goes.
That was the pattern,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Girls always say, I love a guy with a sense of humor. That's crap. Girls like a guy who laughs at their jokes.
Yeah. Oh, that's deep. That's deep. He's teaching us. He's teaching us. Oh, he's almost choked on his...
Yeah.
So, did you go into university or just go right into...
No, I didn't go. I worked in shoe sales.
I was about to say, did you have a regular job?
I worked for shoe sales for 2 years after high school, and then I wrote a play, and it won an award and stuff like that, and then everybody said, oh, you should go to Niagara College and take their theater program, which is more heavy on the technical than the performing.
Okay.
It was like maybe 30% performing, 70% costume, sets, lighting. And I was like, well, go learn that stuff, right? Because at that time, maybe I was going to write plays. I'm like, go learn that stuff so that when you write a play, they can do your play.
Yeah.
You can even put in it, you know what I mean? Like, I know how this stuff works, so, use a blah, blah, blah. And so I did that, and I left school a month early. I left a month early to start doing stand-up full-time in like 89.
Was that hard, just starting, like, doing that full-time when you decided to do that?
No, because I had 2 months of bookings.
Really?
Yeah, I had 2 months of bookings, and I said, okay, when the work dries up, I'll think of doing something else.
And it never dried up?
It never dried up until my partner split with me 10 years ago.
Okay, that was
my
Chris,
comedy partner. I was
is that
in the
right?
Chris and Larry show.
Chris and Larry. I think I have your CD
and I don't
still
say
around.
that often. This is an exclusive.
This
on
is an
your program.
exclusive,
I
yes.
always refer to him as my partner, and I always refer to the other one as when I did that show with the other guy.
Yeah, I saw the Chris and Larry show because I think I sort of met you by then.
Yeah.
But I remember Dave Marshall.
Yeah. I've
one of
known
my
him from Kiwanis days when I was like 9.
Yeah, you guys, and he said, oh, my friend Larry's in the show. And I go, yeah, I think I met Larry around the staircase, and we went to see your show. I remember,
Right.
I think I have your CD around here.
Oh, wow.
Too. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, I remember it was a pretty funny show. But,
I liked it. I liked it.
But it just didn't pan out.
No, it didn't work out. We went the way of Martin and Lewis.
Which one were you?
Probably Martin, because I didn't know anything about the business. He handled all the business for 15 years. So I've been rebuilding the last decade.
So that's the worst part, when your partner leaves and they did all the business
they did all the
aspect.
booking. Suddenly I'm like, I don't want to call people. But you got to make a living.
And you do a kids show as well, though, right?
Yeah.
Deputy Doodle, is that, am I right?
Deputy Doodle show.
Oh, I did got it right.
He's the fastest drawer in the West, man.
Nice.
Yeah, and I teach the kids how to draw cartoons, and there's a puppet, and we sing songs. And I was at the Moose Lodge yesterday afternoon. I do the Hamilton Moose Lodge 3 times a year, Halloween, Easter, and Christmas.
How did Deputy Doodle come about? Like, is this something that you were inspired by as a kid, or just you liked?
In 2000, I put on the Ha 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 Hamilton Comedy Festival, which was basically 4 shows over a weekend, and I was in every single one of them in some capacity.
So it was like a fringe fest, but you starred in everything.
Yeah, it was a fringe fest of stuff Larry wanted to do.
It'd be great to have a festival where you get people to put their thing in, but you say the only stipulation is I have to be in everything.
Devlin, I'm this close to one weekend in Hamilton for a gag, setting up the Larry Smith Comedy Festival and telling people you can buy tickets to 5 different shows that make up the festival. They're all completely different, but they're all me.
I love it. That's a great idea.
And Deputy Doodle.
Oh yeah, Deputy Doodle.
I decided that they needed something on a Saturday afternoon. I'm like, if you're having a festival, there should be something for kids.
Yes.
Really, there should be something for kids.
Absolutely.
That's why I did the all ages teenage improv on the Sunday afternoon.
Nice.
But the Saturday, I went, okay, clowns scare kids, and I don't want to do a clown. What kind of a guy could I do? And then I thought drawing. fastest drawer. I draw, fastest drawer in the West. I went, every kid loves a cowboy. I'll be a cowboy. And this is the year 2000. So Toy Story is like just
coming
through
out
the roof, man. You know,
Nice.
so yeah. So I had to take the HSR yesterday, dressed as a cowboy.
No limos yet?
No, down there with my easel and my bundle buggy all the way down there to the Moose Lodge to make a buck. Doing stand-up comedy, swearing and talking about oral sex in front of Italians at the Italian Club Saturday. Get up Sunday morning, put on your cowboy suit, and go back to work.
It's incredible, though, that you chose to do it and that you keep doing it.
I always tell people that it's true. It's Canadian show business. When guys go to me, I do comedy, how can you could do it as a living? I'm going, because you got to hustle. And you better come up with all kinds of ways for you to be able to pay your money. It's a gypsy. It's a gypsy life. It's
you sell your...
Figure out every day.
You sell your
sell
art.
my pictures. When I can get DVDs burned, I sell DVDs. You know, like... it's.
Did you do other comedy CDs or anything besides the
Let me see.
Chris and Larry one?
There was the Chris and Larry Crueler comedy CD. There was the Chris and Larry. This is how long I've been doing comedy, folks.
Yeah.
The Chris and Larry video.
Okay.
A VHS tape in a lovely Disney case.
Nice.
Then I put out the Larry Smith's triple feature. Now that's a DVD that's hard to get.
Is
I only
it?
had that- yeah, I
I looked
only
on
had that
eBay.
one
It would
for a
be...
year before I got my new DVD. So that was the triple feature comedy thing. That had 45 of stand-up, and then I had some comedy characters, and then I had some cartoons at the end.
Nice.
So, but my newest one was from 2009, my 20th anniversary DVD, which I'm proud of because that's a show, one camera, 2 hours, straight through, whole 2 hour show, no break, no sweetening of the laughter, because I think that's cheating.
But when they put the old I Love Lucy laugh track into that?
Yeah. You're supposed to just get the performance the way it was.
Absolutely.
And also for the
Do
performance.
they have enhancement on stand-up comedy?
Dude, people mess with comedy all the time. I used to love watching comedy at Club 54 because I'd been on it, right?
Yeah.
And I used to watch it, and I had one ex-girlfriend that used to call it me doing my duck hunting. I would sit there, and I would watch somebody do a joke, and then I would listen to the laugh, and I would see when they cut to the audience, the reaction of the audience, and then I would see the look on the comic's face, and I just read in his eyes, that bit did not get as big a reaction as they're letting us believe in God. She's going, no.
I like that you're the comedian whisperer.
Yeah,
like, I see. Yeah.
I can read it on his face. Like I could read on his face. Like it got a response, but it didn't get. Yeah. He would have I go.
That's true because you sort of see them. When you see a comedian, you can tell when they're just basking in the admiration with the laughs.
Yeah. It's like
nice.
you can
enhancements.
Yeah, you can tell. Bob Newhart. Okay, when comedy albums were a fairly new thing for record studios to do, right? Guy came down, recorded Bob Newhart, went back, gave the tape to the sound engineer. The sound engineer cut out all the pauses because sound engineers,
as in like the pauses of his telling joke.
Right.
But that was his style, right?
Right.
Yes.
So he completely edited out all the pauses, and nobody could figure out why the record wasn't funny. Then Bob Newhart heard it and went, "Well, where's like the 2, 3, 4 before I say the next thing?"
Yeah.
He goes, "That's what makes it funny."
That's his thing. Yeah. That's
right. It's like that's why I'm like, comedians, just give it to me pure. Just like. Stick a camera on the guy. He's used to working on a stage. Just frame him like a meat puppet and let him go to town. All these close-ups and all that crap. Don't get me started on them young kids with their arena comedy. That Dane Cook.
I was about to say, Dane Cook was the person.
He's not a comedian. He's a pep rally leader is what he is.
Who were your comedians that you grew up with that inspired you?
Jerry Lewis, abso-frickin-tootly.
I kind of knew that.
Billy Van, like we've been discussing.
Yep. Absolutely.
The first stand-up comedian I ever saw, and this is funny. like other guys can name hockey players, I can like name obscure comedians and stuff. Like a bunch of them are going to come out when we talk about Christmas later.
Yeah,
I just
sure.
know it. But Tommy Dreesen is a really great stand-up, and he was the first one I ever saw on the Carson Show when I was about 6, and I was homesick sick with a fever.
Yeah,
My mom said, "You looked at the acrobats Carson had on, you didn't care. They had a singer on, you didn't care. Guy came out from behind the rainbow curtain, just stood there by himself, Larry, and was talking, and he was getting laughs, and you were like, okay, Mom." Because up to that point, I thought to be a comedian, you had to make movies like Jerry Lewis and be on variety shows like Jerry Lewis. Then I see this guy on The Tonight Show, and I go, wait a minute, comedy can be just you, by yourself. No set, no writers, no cast, just you being funny. My mom was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's the holy grail right there, baby. Yeah, George Carlin. Because my dad, the first album I heard that was an adult, the first time I heard adult comedy, I was in like grade 6. And so that would have been like, 1976, something like that. My dad had 2 record albums sitting up against our little tiny stereo. It was The Big Babu, Cheech Chung, and Class Clown with George Carlin. So my dad said, now, by this time, my parents know I'm into comedy. I mean, the year before, I told them if I couldn't have Steve Martin's Wild and Crazy Guy album, that I needed nothing for Christmas, that would be fine.
That's a great album, too.
Amazing album. Grandpa bought a rubber out of nowhere. Which blew my mind. The first time I heard it, I went, that's funny. Because
I remember thinking,
it doesn't
did
make
he
sense.
just say what I think he said?
And out of nowhere. Like, there's no context for it, and he goes right back to what he was doing. It's, Grandpa bought a rubber, and then right back to what he was talking about.
I always had a weird sexual fetish for Steve Martin.
Really?
Yeah, like when he... I loved his... I don't know, but then when he started doing the movies like The Jerk and stuff, it was just like, there's something about him. I love
Those are great movies.
The Jerk is...
I hate Steve Martin's new movies. If I want to see a Steve Martin movie, give me The Man with Two Brains.
Okay. Yeah.
Brilliant movie. Yeah. Anybody listening to your podcast wants to see a movie that is so... Okay, I always like to say to people, I hope my humor is smart humor for stupid people and stupid humor for smart people. Yeah. And The Man with Two Brains is totally that. The Jerk is a great movie. Okay, The Lonely Guy is an underrated movie. But the best movie he ever made is for...
I feel like we need a drum roll.
For artistic merit, for like, that's out of this world. Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
That's hard to find, too, now.
It took me 8 years to find that on DVD.
I saw that on the at the drive-in.
Right.
And I remember, like... This is, like, I knew it was, I think it was over my head. I always wanted to see it again, but it was almost hard to find because, like you said, people didn't respect it or anything. It's where they explain what it is for people who've never seen it.
Steve Martin plays this hard-boiled detective in the 1940s.
Yeah. It's a noir film.
Aside from him and the girl who plays the femme fatale and maybe 4 other actors, none of the other actors in the movie are alive, most of them, because what he's done is he's edited in scenes with Humphrey Bogart, Alan Ladd, Vincent Price, Orson Welles, Fred McMurray, Barbara Stanwyck, from all these classic movies and stuff. So he's on the phone, he's talking to Humphrey Bogart. I'm like, to have written that movie, they would have had to have gone through so much footage and made so many notes, and then to come together. And I always say, the unsung hero of those great movies is Carl Reiner. It was Carl Reiner and Steve Martin made The Jerk. Carl Reiner and Steve Martin made The Man with Two Brains. They also made Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. Yeah. I'm like, that's the holy trilogy of Carl Reiner and Steve Martin, and it's amazing. But they edited it together, and
it's beautiful. They have shots where like they cut like a Humphrey Bogart, but then they actually film Steve Martin, and they have some guy who's like his back.
Yeah,
it's to him, so it's all beautifully
interspiced. But they recreated the sets.
Yeah,
they happen to know this. They had, is it Edith Head? Is that her name? The big costume designer in Hollywood that was
I
around
believe
forever?
so. I believe
they
so.
had her redesign the costumes for the movie.
And they didn't. It wasn't like Clutch Cargo. They actually used lines from
the
movies, so they would have to write
scenes from the movie,
scripts to fit the dialogue that the actors would say from other movies.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't Clutch Cargo with the weird lips, like with the whole.
No, nothing was dubbed or anything.
Yeah.
Like that's why I went. It blew my mind because I went. Somebody would have had to have put a lot of work into writing this movie. They would have had to have gone. We can use that line. We can use that line. Like Carlotta. Like one of the MacGuffins in the mystery is Carlotta, and you don't know whether it's a woman or a place, and the whole bit just for the sake of their script.
And I don't believe anybody's ever tried to do something like that again.
No,
maybe like a short or something, but nothing.
Yeah, no, and somebody should.
Yeah. Well, that was what, 82, 83 around there? So
and
you'd think
now,
by now somebody
with technology now, I can't believe somebody doesn't have a YouTube channel where they go, this is what I do. Because everybody's kind of got their own niche, where somebody goes, I put myself in famous movies. Like one thing I thought of doing forever was, especially when I do this new show in the new year, I want to go around and get every famous person that's ever used the name Larry.
Nice.
Because Larry Sanders' show, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I told a buddy of mine, I go, just for the live show, I don't want to get in copyright trouble when I do the broadcast show, but I went, I'd really like to have Hank Kingsley, after a little bit of music, go the whole bit about, all right, Larry's getting ready. He'll be out in a few minutes. Well, this slide says applesauce. No, it doesn't. It says applause. Do you ever see Larry Sanders' show?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'm like, the amount of people on that show that say Larry and things about Larry, and
very
I'm going,
famous things,
I'm like going, wicked. So now what I could do is I could edit this thing together where it's celebrities talking about me before my show, and everybody would go, are they really talking about Larry? Was that just Gary Shandling? You know,
nice, That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, my name's making a comeback.
Larry's
There's a lot
back
more,
in again?
A lot more Larrys in the media now.
Oh, I blame the sitcom Hello Larry for ending it for a bit there.
Yeah, but Jane Stevens. And
tried.
And I was in love with the blonde daughter on that show.
Yeah, I remember. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, that was the girl who was in Escape from Witch Mountain that is now a drunken aunt.
She was
one of the Hiltons.
That's right.
She married into the Hilton family or something.
Escape from Witch Mountain.
Yeah, she was the kind
I love doing this podcast because you just never know. We just talked about Dead Men Don't Bleed. We mentioned Escape from Witch Mountain. I love it. Can go anywhere. Yeah, I remember her name. It was like... No, I found it. Kim Richards.
Kim Richards,
yes.
And then she became a Hilton.
And she's on one of the Desperate Housewives of wherever she's from.
Yeah, it's sad what happens to your puberty crushes. Like, I had a crush on Christine McNichol, and she likes girls. There was a lot of girls I had crushes on that ended up being girls that like girls.
Yeah, what I wonder what that was about.
I don't know. I think I just like a girl who's gotten over herself and might have a sense of humor, and maybe that's mostly lesbians.
I didn't have that problem. The celebrity I consider that made me gay is John Schneider from the Dukes of Hazzard. The blonde guy. Yeah. And I got to meet him at a Comic-Con.
Thank God. I thought you were saying Schneider from One Day at a Time.
Well, he had his look.
When you think about it, his outfit was very of that time, kind of gay. He was wearing the jeans and the chain belt and the vest.
The vest of the thing. You know? Yeah, and I got to meet John Schneider at a Comic-Con.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm going to put my arm around him when we took a picture together. And he was like built like a brick shithouse still. Really? And I'm like, wow, he aged. Yeah, he's tall. Yeah.
Well, he's Pa Kent.
Yeah, he was, and he's still in great shape in that. But he wasn't that old when he did Dukes of Hazzard, so he's not that much older than me. Like, he was like 17. He actually lied about his age.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Tom Wopat was like in his early 20s, but he lied. He said he was 17 to get the role.
Wow.
And when you look at him, he was like 6 foot thing at 17.
He's giant.
Like, yeah.
He's giant.
Yeah, but he didn't become a lesbian.
I only watched Dukes of Hazzard because it came out after BJ and the Bear. So
I watched that show too.
I love BJ and the Bear.
That was a great show. I'm sure. I'm surprised they didn't remake that yet.
The monkey was named after football coach Bear Bryant.
That's right, man.
Right.
Now, we're going to take a break, but before we get to our pop culture for Christmas, although I don't know, talking about BJ and the Bear, of course, I'm talking about.
Right.
What is like Christmas at the Smith household like?
Mine now or
Yeah.
when I was growing up?
Well, is it different now?
Oh, yeah, now that I have my own apartment and stuff like
Oh, okay.
that.
So the last big family Christmas.
Oh,
you did,
Christmas at my family is
Yeah,
great.
family, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We can only imagine what goes on at your house, in your apartment.
Yeah, well,
on Christmas.
I've always been Bachelor Uncle Larry, right?
Yeah.
So except for, I think, 2 Christmases when I was living with a girl, which cured me of that. When I was living with her, I missed 2 Christmases this way. But every Christmas Eve, since I was a kid, I spend at my mom and dad's house. Like, I will go there Christmas Eve when I'm done all my visiting and shit, and I will wake up at my mom and dad's house and have Christmas morning with them there. And then we just all relax and stuff, and I take all the wrapping paper and stuff out to the dumpster so that I can have a wake and bake on Christmas morning.
You're allowed to say that.
Yeah, and then we come back and we wait for whenever my brother or one of his kids or my niece or whatever is going to pick us up. We go up to my brother Dave's, and then the circus starts because my brother got remarried, so now he has 5 kids. My sister has 2 kids. They're all in their like teens to early 20s now, but it's still, they're the kids, right?
Yeah.
So there's the opening of the 7 kids' gifts from 2 sets of grandparents, as well as from Uncle Larry, and then there's Uncle Larry and Grandma and Grandpa's gifts and all that stuff. And Santa's, it's insane. And then we have dinner, and then we relax.
What kind of dinner do you have? Like turkey?
Oh, yeah, you have the turkey and the whole bit. Christmas crackers, you must wear your stupid hat.
Oh, you do the Christmas crackers?
Yeah, man.
that's
Crackers
paper.
are the big deal, dude. Crackers are the big deal. It's what crackers are like the weather.
What else is
when
in
you
there
don't have
besides
anything
the
to
hat?
talk about.
Everybody remembers the damn hat.
You get the hat.
You
get some kind of a joke or a horoscope.
Is it like a Bazooka
on
Joe
a
or
piece of
like...
paper? Oh no, it's like a fortune cookie almost.
Oh, okay.
You get a little strip of paper there with a riddle on it, or sometimes you get a fortune or something.
Okay.
And you should get a little toy in there.
Okay, that's
and maybe
cool.
a couple pieces of candy.
That's cool.
Most of them is just the hat, the toy, and the fortune.
I think I bought them one year, and it just was like, and then we were like, oh, here's the hat. But it wasn't...
Some of them are nice. I got a nice set of mini dominoes.
Nice.
Like one year.
It's a lot to go in a cracker.
Gotten a nice keychain. Well, if you buy the nicer upscale ones, like my brother, who may not be as funny as me, but he has way more money. I actually call his home.
So my dollar store crackers.
You know the Kennedys have a compound?
Yeah.
I call my brother's house the Smith compound because he's got 5 kids in and out of there, right? You know, and him and the wife and the dog I'm like, wow, it's the compound. You need to be on Cape Cod, Dave. You know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but it's nice and easy. That's why I like bachelor adult family Christmas. It's like my one niece said, when it comes to family events, even when she was little, she'd be about 8 when she would do this. They go, Zoe, what's Bachelor Uncle rule number 1 about family gatherings? She said, Uncle Larry is allowed to be the last to arrive and the first to leave. And I go, that's the rule, kid.
And when you go back to your apartment, what do you do on Christmas? Or is that too personal? Okay.
Nothing.
Don't watch any Christmas movies or just...
Oh, I'll watch Christmas movies leading up to Christmas when I do all my wrapping, because I do all my wrapping in white paper, and then because I'm an artsy-fartsy guy, I have to turn all the packages into like dioramas and sculptures of snowmen and crap like that by taping them together and that. So I smoke a lot of weed and I watch a lot of I don't want to give away because for the second half,
we're going to talk about stuff.
There's a lot of movies that I'm like, oh, I have to see this movie.
All right. So we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to find out what goes good with Christmas weed. And
you had a door in your apartment. Does that lead to a balcony?
Unfortunately, our balconies are closed right now.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you need to go downstairs or something.
I just would for a second.
Okay. He's just getting fresh air. That's all we're saying. Anyhow, we're going to take a short break.
No, I smoked one before I got here. I'm not going to smoke one in the middle of the show. I'm a professional. I just need a cigarette. Goodness.
I'm sorry.
Plus, people who smoke weed are more likely to believe in Santa.
There you go. There's a tip right there. We'll be right back with my co-host Larry Smith, and we got some Christmas pop culture coming up. Stay tuned.
I hope so, boys. This is a special holiday message to moviegoers all over the world.
Santa, have we ever let you down? Roll it, Eddie.
Thank you for your patronage, and we wish you a happy holiday. Thank you for your patronage, and we wish you a happy holiday.
Welcome back. I don't know if I did that too close. Welcome back. Anyhow, Devlin Bishop and my co-host today, Larry Smith, here on the Christmas episode. We got a little bit of Christmas at the end there, but we're going to totally talk Christmas
Yeah, I was
now.
trying, I don't know if it's a spoiler alert. It's a don't spill your beans before you're going to have something to talk about.
Yeah, no. So you are a big fan of pop culture and stuff like that.
Yes.
Did you have good Christmases as a kid? What kind of toys did you get? Do you remember? Did you get?
I got a ventriloquism dummy when I was 9 called Mr. Parlichin, and I changed his name
What
to
was it?
Mr. Jingles. Mr. Parlichin.
Parlichin?
Yeah. It
That's
was
an odd
red
name.
hair. It had red hair, and he had shepherd's tooth patterned jacket
Okay.
and pants, and it was like a real ventriloquism
Nice.
dummy, but made out of very hard plastic. I even had the tube for the neck, and you could move the eyes with another lever.
I don't want to freak out our viewers, but they might be shocked to find out I actually had a ventriloquist dummy.
Did you?
one year. I bought it. I saved up my money. It was
Whoa.
Frankenstein. And he'd
Frankenstein?
sit on your lap, and he had the hard plastic, and you
wow.
could make his eyes move. And his...
Do you still have it?
No, I wish.
Oh,
I don't know what
man.
the hell happened to him.
Oh, it's like I used to have a Woody
Do you have
Woodpecker
your-
hand puppet that if you pulled the string in his chest, he'd talk. And I'm like going, oh, if I still own that now, I bet you I'd go on eBay. Somebody go, I will give you $2,000.
I'm looking around my toys,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's out because we swapped the toys.
Right.
I actually had a Bugs Bunny that had that. It's probably from the late 60s.
Yeah.
That you press it and it'd come up with
Yeah, like you're
know.
talking about Christmas memories.
Right.
Well, always
Yeah.
remember this. It's funny. Speaking of that Woody Woodpecker puppet, downtown Hamilton.
Yeah.
When I was 6, that's 1972. I remember my Uncle Bill. That's why it was cool. You're 6 and your uncle's going to take you out for the evening. Took me to downtown Hamilton when it was all decorated up
Yeah.
for Christmas, when Robinson's was still there, and
Yeah.
the Bright House and all this stuff.
Then you could go see Santa in
You
Gore
could
Park.
see Santa in the middle of Gore Park in the
giant-
house they built for him.
and you'd wait
Oh, my
around the
God.
mountain type thing, and you'd go to the
my
house.
uncle took me into the lunch counter of the Holiday Inn back then that was like round. It was in the round. Like there was a centerpiece, and then the counter was round, and the booths were around the round piece. And I had cereal for supper at the Holiday Inn.
nice.
And that just like when you're 6 is like, really? I'm going to have a big bowl of Frosted Flakes? That's my supper?
Yeah, Gore Park looked awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they
Malls
try
killed it.
now, but they had the big Santa thing. That,
Malls killed it.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you
Yeah,
would
the
go
bathroom.
downtown Hamilton. It looked like the opening. You would go downtown Hamilton. The car's more 70s style. However, it looked like the opening to A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Like the downtown.
Yeah.
Like just lights and tons of people. Like, as corny as it sounds, people with their packages rushing around
yeah.
and all that stuff.
Sometimes I forget that I'm older, and
Yeah.
I'll talk to young people or talk about
Yeah.
the Hamilton Santa Claus parade, and I go,
Yeah.
wait a minute. When I was a kid, I remember it being on the mountain.
It was. I remember it being on the mountain.
Yeah,
It
because
was on
we'd
the
go into
mountain
the
for a bit.
Woolco Plaza right after
it went
freezing
right
our
along the
ass
brow.
off. Yeah.
It went right along the brow. You watched it. I remember seeing Promo the Robot from WKBW Channel 7 standing alongside of Dave Thomas of Rocket Ship
Ship
7
yeah.
in the Santa Claus parade. That was like the biggest celebrity ever. When you were a kid growing up with 12 channel, only 3 networks, 3 channels out of Buffalo were all your American TV universe. Dave Thomas and Promo the Robot was like the Pope coming to town, man.
I love when you mention Rocket Ship 7 and people know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, I had my birthday read on there one time.
Did you?
Yeah, when Dave Thomas, he'd go, and happy birthday to Larry in Hamilton, Ontario, who's turning 8 today. Mom and Dad said, maybe there's something special for you waiting in the dryer.
Oh!
Because all the time,
they
would,
do that,
they would
yeah.
hide a gift somewhere in the house and then have Dave Thomas tell the kid, maybe there's something hidden in the dryer.
That's awesome, yeah.
You know who his son is?
No.
Dave Thomas of Rocket Ship 7?
No, I do not know.
His son is Dave Boreanaz, the guy from SEAL Team now, but used to be Seeley Booth on the show Bones. And
Okay,
he used to be,
really?
he was Angel on Buffy. That is Dave Thomas of Channel 7, Rocket Ship 7.
Yeah,
son.
and he was Commander Tom, right?
No,
that the
he
character's name?
was Dave Thomas on... Okay, this is so funny. Okay. This is the way the reality works. In the, you know how Marvel has its own universe?
Yes,
and that?
yes.
Okay, in kids' television of WKBW television, here's the way the universe
All right.
worked. Dave Thomas was in a space station, okay, like on a rocket ship space station with Promo the Robot and that. He did cartoons in the morning from outer space, from Rocket Ship 7. He was orbiting the Earth in Rocket Ship 7, right?
Yes.
Commander Tom, that's why he wore like the red serge like a Mountie.
Yeah.
He lived at the top of a tower, which people won't tell you, but it was the Skylon Tower, and they reversed the photograph so it looked like it was on the American side.
Okay.
And he lived on the top of that tower and kept watch over the entire Niagara frontier.
Ah.
Right? So that's who.
So I'm
Commander
getting my
Tom was.
shows mixed up.
Now,
there.
later when Dave Thomas left, they gave Commander Tom double duty. He did.
That's why I'm thinking he was
Rocket Ship 7 with Commander Tom, and then he did Commander Tom in the afternoon.
That's how I learned about Davy and Goliath, because they used to show them.
Davy.
Yeah, those ones. Yeah.
Yeah, that's based on the Son of Sam killings. Those cartoons.
Is it?
Yeah, a kid named Davy who has a talking dog.
I thought they were Mormons.
David Berkowitz, right? Son of Sam, Davy. He said a dog told him to kill all those people. I put 2 and 2 together.
Oh.
I've seen a picture of David Berkowitz's sister, Penny. She has hair that looks like macaroni. She does. I'm telling you.
Oh my
Did
God.
you ever see that Moral Oral takeoff?
Yeah,
they did
yeah,
on,
they
Davy
did,
and Goliath?
yeah.
That was pretty good takeoff.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching Davy and Goliath. You always felt kind of disappointed. You were like, it's the Jesus cartoons, but at least it's cartoons.
But there was some adventure. He got stuck on an island a couple times, and the bridge broke.
Yeah.
It wasn't always. They did some action stuff.
Yeah, I always remember them staying in an A-frame cabin for some reason. And like they built a model of an A-frame cabin.
So what were your favorite Christmas specials growing up? Or ones you watched?
You know what I was thinking they don't do anymore, Christmas
What?
special-wise, and you might remember some of these?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, variety shows were big, even into like the early to mid-'70s. So it wasn't just cartoons at Christmas when I was a kid.
No.
There were specials, like hour-long specials hosted by some celebrity or another, and some of them were like a yearly thing, like the Andy Williams Christmas special. Like my mother would say, we need to be home on Thursday. That's when they're showing the Andy Williams Christmas special on CBS.
A lot of those are on YouTube now.
Oh, yeah?
Because I came in and he was watching some Andy Williams.
Oh, wow.
We watched...
he made the Osmonds.
Yeah, and speaking of, we watch a lot of the Osmond Christmas ones.
Oh, yeah,
They're just so wholesome and
hokey.
Oh, they are.
Love them.
Yeah.
Andy Williams used to have a bear on that wore a diaper.
Yeah, you were telling me this.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look it up.
Chevy Chase's Saturday Night Live stole the bear looking for cookies bit from Andy Williams and turned it into the land shark bit. You know where Chevy Chase's land shark? Candy gram, man. It's a shark trying to get into the house to eat the person.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But they keep going, no, you're not. Right?
Yeah.
Andy Williams, there used to be a bear that would on his regular show, but then on the Christmas special, he'd always invite the bear in and finally give him a cookie after you're telling him no. He would bang on the door, and Annie Williams would go, "Who is it?" And he'd go, "Union Pacific. We're here to check your gas." And he's like, "No, you're not. You're that bear." "Nope, no, I'm not." You know, when I was a kid, I looked forward to that every year. I go, "Mom, tonight's the night he lets the bear in." You know, but you remember those? Like
I remember Andy Williams, but I don't remember a lot of those.
Oh,
but
there
I
used to
know
be the Mac Davis Christmas special.
Yeah,
the Shields and Yarnell Christmas special. The two robots.
That doesn't work on
Christmas dinner. Yeah.
It doesn't work on podcasts when I'm doing the.
Shields and
for anybody
Yarnell.
who knows the Shields and Yarnell, you know what I'm probably doing right now.
They were good at what they did.
They
got them onto the Muppet Show.
We have, I have an insane amount of like Christmas movies and specials that I collect.
Right.
And I have Sonny and Cher Christmas specials.
Wicked.
I have one of the Osmonds ones on DVD. One of our favorite guilty pleasures is the Captain and Tennille.
Oh my God! Captain
Christmas.
and Tennille, Muskrat Love.
Their Christmas special is just so wrong that it's right.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it? Yeah.
A Liberace one back in the day.
Oh, I think
where
Cher did one.
I do not have it, but I wish
I
I do.
remember her variety show. She had little cartoon videos or songs.
Yeah, well, they did that on Sonny and Cher too.
Yeah.
And I have a set that has the Sonny and Cher show when they were like close.
Yeah.
Then when Chastity showed up.
Yeah.
And then the last one's when they were divorced and they came back. And when you watch them all three, it's kind of weird because they're all lovey-dovey. Then the kid's there, and then suddenly it's
like a Bergman movie.
Shaking hands.
Yeah, it's like a Bergman movie. You can
is.
watch the disintegration of a family.
It is, and but you got to see it. You know, there's some wonderful weird
Well, they did an Ewok that holiday special, like
Well,
Christmas.
Star Wars holiday
Yeah,
special
Christmas
is
used
great,
to be
yeah.
an excuse to stick Christmas on anything.
I think everybody's had a Christmas special
Like,
from Fat Albert to Pac-Man.
Yeah, but when you talk about Christmas shows and that, right?
Yeah.
I was saying to a buddy, I go, "Oh, I had a realization. I smoked a joint, and I had a realization." And then I said to him, "I can't wait. I'm going to go to Devlin's podcast." He goes, "Yeah." And I go, I think if I say this, one person out in the listening area will do what I do when somebody says something brilliant on one of the podcasts I watch or listen to.
Oh, really?
And I'll go, "Oh, my God, he's right. He's right." And I figured out something. When it comes to Christmas, screw Disney, they got nothing. Screw Looney Tunes, they got nothing. Christmas and every holiday belongs to Rankin and Bass, brother.
Absolutely.
Put one step in front of the other.
That is my favorite
And soon
special.
I'll be walking out the door.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
You like that one?
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it because you get to see him as a badass.
Wasn't there one called The Year They Canceled Christmas?
A Year Without a Santa Claus?
A Year Without a Santa Claus? I like that one.
That's a crazy one,
Here
but my
Comes Santa
favorite...
Claus, that's the one with Mickey Rooney learns to be Santa Claus, right?
Mickey,
Or is
that's Santa Claus coming to town.
Coming
yeah.
to town. Is that the one with Heat Miser? and
No,
Cold
that's
Miser?
A Year Without
A Year Without a
Santa
Santa.
Claus.
I
yeah.
love those dudes.
I
I'm
love-
Mr. Heat Miser.
I'll have
I'm
to show you
Mr.
my- Somebody got me some action figures
Of
with
those
them.
guys?
Yeah, because that's the best
Oh.
part of that show. That one's
They're the best, and they're whores. They even did like the New Year's baby,
Oh.
Rudolph and the Search for
like
New Year's
Rudolph
baby.
is a classic, but they did a lot of spin-offs. One
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
worst is Christmas in July with Rudolph and Frosty. Have
Oh
you
my
ever
God.
seen that?
No.
That's hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's weird. And not to mention you get to see Frosty as a puppet, like claymation or whatever they use.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, he becomes that in that one.
Oh,
with
that's
his
pretty
kids.
cool.
That's neat, but it's a really sad... There's one song in it, I remember, that Rudolph loses his... Spoilers. He loses his glow.
Right.
And he sings this really depressing song,
Right.
but he's in a circus tent.
Wow.
And he actually dips his nose in red glitter, and he's
Right.
like... And I'm like, this is freaking sad.
Yeah, because I would
It's
think...
like a 90-minute movie.
I would think if his nose lost his glow, he'd be happy because now he can go on and live a normal life instead of being a mutant freak.
Apparently he bought into that.
You know, he's
Yeah.
a mutant freak. You know, the first ever gay character on a Christmas special was in Rudolph. It was the Charlie in the Box.
Yeah, I mean,
Even before I knew what gay people were, I knew there were gay people.
Yeah.
Like Paul Lynde was one of my
Yeah.
heroes when I was a kid.
Snuggle.
But that metal box. I'm pretty sure Uncle Arthur. Not,
Snagglepuss.
he's into other warlocks.
Snagglepuss was a gay character.
You think so?
I
Yeah.
think, oh yeah.
Pink Mountain Lion?
Heavens to Murgatroyd! Come on.
States right, Colonel.
There's a snippet on YouTube of all these things, and then when you watch it, you go, yeah, he's definitely a gay character.
He's gay.
So tell me about Charlie in the Box.
Charlie in the Box.
Most people would think the dentist.
Well, he comes out and he's like, oh, look at me. Nobody wants the Charlie in the Box. He's having an affair with the squirt gun that shoots jam. The two of them. The only one who can't handle it is the train with square wheels, because he's square and he's very right wing, that train. And, I just always thought that Charlie in the Box was gay and he was in a box. And that was a major irony.
He could have been. I always thought Great Gazoo maybe a little bit too, Gee, Dum Dum.
No, you know what? This is what I always say to people. You can't assume someone's gay just because of the way they talk.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like just because a guy kind of talks and you think he's gay because he talks gay, it's the same as thinking a guy who talks normal couldn't be gay. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely. It's like it cracks me up that way.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I got off topic there.
No,
but that
we talk about everything on this
that
podcast.
Makes me crazy.
Yeah.
Because I had a buddy who very much talks like this. And that's how he talks.
Yeah.
That's just his voice.
Yeah.
His dad talks the same way. They all talk like that. And I used to have friends of mine go, oh, you're gay, Fred. You're gay, Fred. And
Yeah.
I'm like going, he's not gay, man.
Well, usually
He's married, and I would get the vibe.
What drives me crazy, and this is totally off the Christmas topic.
Right, Christmas. Gay apparel.
Yeah, gay is when people come out of the closet and suddenly have a list.
Oh, that drives me nuts. I didn't know if it was politically correct to talk about that.
I'm gay, so yeah.
I knew a guy I went to high school with, and I said, I'm all cool with him being gay, but the last time I talked to him, I saw him at the bar, he was all like, wow, like, la, la, la. And I'm like going, he wasn't like that in high school. I go, I would respect you more if you were just you know what I mean? But people said to me, they go, they try to pull homophobic shit on me. They'll go, oh, you do that gay voice when you do your act, if I happen to do a gay character, right? I do this bit about how you'd rather have a gay waiter than a hetero waiter because they make everything sound way more exciting and way better, and they're more happier you're there. And I said, so one guy, oh, you do that gay voice pretty good. You ever thought you might be gay yourself? And I turned to him and I went, no. I said, because I figured out the secret of doing that particular kind of gay person, I said, is you have to think of your favorite crazy, really out there blast of an aunt. And you just have to be her.
Yeah.
And I went because everything's exciting, and I love everybody, and you go for it. And I go, gay people are very, very, a lot of them are very optimistic, like my Aunt Barb. It's like, look at you becoming a doctor. That is so good. Do you know that he is a doctor, and that is not an easy job to have? It is not. I am so proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. And buddy of mine goes, that's gay. I went, no, it's my Aunt Barb. I couldn't do a gay guy, so I do my Aunt Barb, and people went, that sounds like
Do you know a guy, he does improv, or he used to do improv, Kevin Patrick Robbins?
Yes,
KPR.
Yeah, back in the day.
He once told us, he says, as long as, I don't mind gay people, as long as they don't do that whole, when they start singing their thing. You know how they did. And then after he said that, all the people, gay or straight, thought we were just bugging him all night going, this is fabulous! Oh, yeah. He's just like, stop! And then even the straight guys are starting to do
I'm
it.
as straight as they come, and I will occasionally turn to somebody and go, this requires a merman. I've got a feeling, everything's coming up roses. You just have to have that moment.
I like to look up.
Ethel Merman was in one of those Rankin and Bass cartoons.
Yeah, she was in the Christmas in July.
Christmas in July, and Shirley Booth played the mom of Heat Miser and Cold Miser.
You're right.
Hazel from the TV show. Now I really sound old. Watched it in reruns.
Yeah,
I could do a great Frosty the Snowman.
Oh, let's
you
hear
ready?
it. Jackie Vernon. Right?
Jackie Vernon, great comedian. Yeah. So here you go. Happy birthday.
He's not British, is he?
No, but that's how he sounds. Okay. I love Jackie Vernon.
Vernon.
Jackie Vernon. I've watched really old tapes of him. He used to have this great bit where he goes, I read a book by a gentleman who was a great prophet who said that the world would end Now, he's doing this bit in 1962, right?
Yeah.
So he goes, who said that the world would end in 1959? That was the year he was hit by a truck, so he was right. But Jackie Vernon, I'm always like, a lot of
Nice.
people forget that, like, nightclub performers were most of your childhood memories.
Yeah, yeah.
Jimmy Durante.
Jimmy
Narrating
Durante,
Snow,
yeah.
Frosty the Snowman, Jackie Vernon doing the voice. They used to get big people to do those voices and
Yeah.
stuff. Fred Astaire's the post office guy, I think, for the Easter one or something.
Yeah, no, that's Santa Claus.
That's Santa Claus is coming to
The
town.
Easter one's similar, so that's
Right, Danny Kaye did the New Year's Eve one, I think. I don't know.
could be. They
Yeah.
got so many.
I remember
people,
being
yeah.
a kid. We were so bummed out Rudolph was over, and then we would wait for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, for our lives, right?
It's the only thing you have when you're 6 is the Rudolph and the hunt for the New Year baby.
Yeah, they didn't do a lot of New Year's ones. It's
No,
not
I was used to
famous
joke
one.
Rankin and Bass, the people who went, are you sure we can't come up with an Arbor Day special? We need more money. You know?
Now, when Frosty the Snowman
Yeah.
melts,
Yeah,
you get
that's,
emotional.
Oh, sure
Yeah.
you do, because
Yeah.
Karen's all crying, and he's like, don't cry, Karen.
When
And
I-
you just,
When I did, because I know a person, like, you know, he's really, like, not a person who shows his emotions, and he
Yeah.
used to get really emotional for that. And on my monologue Christmas special, I
Yeah.
mentioned that I always like that, but talk about traumatizing to kids. He's locked in, spoilers, he's locked in, melts, but what
Yeah.
makes it worse is it's only 22 minutes long, but they have
Yeah.
to show us a montage of what
Yeah.
he did in the earlier 10 minutes.
oh, yeah. I think kids need Christmas specials like that. You know what? They're growing up in bubbles now. You need to see a kid go, he's my dog. Mom, he's my dog. I'll shoot Old Yeller. He's my dog.
Spoilers.
You need to see us, you need to see a snowman melt and
Yeah.
a little girl cry. You need to see a reindeer get ostracized just for being a little different. You need to see toys that are subjugated to live on an ice
I know,
floe
yeah, that's
because
sad.
they're imperfect toys.
Yeah.
Christmas,
Santa hides them or
Christmas
something.
specials teach you lessons.
And Santa's a dick in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh,
'cause he's
sure
like
he is.
going along with the bullying.
Until he needs you.
I know.
Until he needs you.
I always thought Santa was a dick in Frosty the Snowman because if you remember at the end,
Yeah.
he drops Karen off on the roof and leaves with no visible way
I
to
didn't
get.
remember that. That's terrible.
See, next time you watch it, you'll be like,
Yeah.
"How is Karen? There's no fire
Let me
escape."
ask you something.
I hope I have an answer
Okay,
for
when
you.
it comes to the Grinch,
Yes.
are you pro Jim Carrey movie?
I like the Jim Carrey movie.
Really?
Yes.
See? I'm like, it's supposed to be a half-hour cartoon. It's like, you don't need two Hobbits. You don't need a full-length movie of the Grinch. Leave it alone.
But-
Boris Karloff is the Grinch.
Yes, and that will always be way better.
Way better.
But what I'm saying, what I find weird about that is I remember when it first came out. Just
yeah.
want to make sure we're still taping here. This is quality material here. When it first came out, everybody loved it.
Yeah.
And now it's like such a backlash by it, but I still think
No,
there's
I didn't
stuff
even
in
want it to come out in
Yeah.
the first place.
Yeah, no,
I was like, there's certain things I don't think people should touch. I think you leave it as
Yeah.
that perfect gem. If you want to see the Grinch, you see this cartoon.
Well, what about like a Christmas Carol where everybody's played Scrooge?
That's different.
Is it?
That's different. That's way different. The Grinch is like a modern kind of thing, and it has a place in our hearts. Christmas Carol is one of those things where it's like you want to see somebody's take on Scrooge, if you
Okay.
catch my
Okay.
drift, right?
Yes.
It's a formula. It's like Wizard of Oz is a formula. Girl kills a woman with her house, and then her and three of her friends take off to go kill her sister, and she meets three people along the way. Same as Ebenezer Scrooge, right? They've redone it. Henry Winkler did the American Christmas
Yeah,
Carol,
yeah.
but even Scrooge, which is very
Bill
close
Murray,
to the
yeah,
original.
absolutely.
The plot of A Christmas Carol's been done by every sitcom, every movie.
Yeah.
They just change it and go, ew, this time it's a talk show host, and they're not named Scrooge, they're named this, but they're going to get visited by ghosts, and it will change Christmas. Just watch the Hallmark Channel. You will see a if you want Christmas movies, go to the Hallmark Channel. I'm telling you right now.
I don't enjoy those Christmas movies. I know. They give you 400 new ones
I hang
a year.
around with a guy who's a 55-year-old stoner who, for some reason, is addicted to The Good Witch, which is a Hallmark Channel show, and they film it in and around Hamilton at Dundas, and it airs in the States. I'm always like, I love any TV show or movie where I get to go, hey, that's the Scottish Rite. And you get to do that a lot. That building's a lot.
Now, you were mentioning Wizard of Oz.
It's in Christmas movies. Tons of them. Scottish Rite.
Scottish Rite, yes. Wizard of Oz,
Yeah.
you mentioned, which is something that they show around Christmas.
Yeah, but it's not a Christmas movie.
Not really, but
it's a holiday movie.
is.
They showed it at Christmas and Easter.
Easter, yeah. But did you ever read that thing about how Glinda the Good Witch is actually the greatest villain of all time? Because of the fact that she sets up the whole Dorothy thing?
Yeah.
Because Dorothy kills it, and then she literally puts the shoes on Dorothy,
My
tells her...
favorite pun, are you ready? Do you know what crime she's guilty of?
What?
Homicide. That's what they call it when you drop a house on someone.
But if you think about it,
Yeah.
Glinda sets up that whole... sends it the little girl...
Okay,
And the witch goes after her, and then at the end,
Yeah.
what does she say? Oh, you could have gone home all along.
Yeah.
After her sister
that's why, as
did.
a cynical guy, I have always said The Wizard of Oz is completely a female-centric movie. Because, one, it's all about a fight over a pair of shoes. And a woman who dissed some woman's sister, and a chick who sets a chick who doesn't even know another chick against the other chick. And I always said too, if Glinda was a guy, just like you said in the very first scene, he would have said, "Oh, you want to go home? Yeah. See those slippers I just gave you? Yeah. Click them together 3 times. Say there's no place like home." Only a woman would not tell you the answer, even though she knew the answer, and make you go through some kind of jumping through hoops and take a test and have to figure it out for yourself. I'm just saying. But it's not a Christmas movie.
No, but I watch
Die
it.
Hard
You
is.
can watch
Wizard
it.
of Oz isn't. I'll settle that argument now that everybody has.
Oh, I know Die Hard is.
Die Hard is.
Yeah.
Do you know some good Christmas movies that I don't think people know about? Now, this is kind of controversial. It's too bad he's in it with everything going on. Maybe they can go back and recast it. But Kevin Spacey, Dennis Leary, and Annette Bening in The Ref, The Marriage Ref.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great Christmas movie.
That's right.
It will remind you so much of different Christmases you had only because of the periphery stuff.
I forget about that movie. That's an awesome
There's a
movie.
guy in town that goes from house to house being Santa, getting drunker and drunker as he goes. There's like the mother-in-law. There's the family coming for Christmas. Baranski's in that. Christine Baranski's in it. All kinds of people.
I saw it at the theater. I don't remember seeing
was-
it in ages.
Yeah, and it was filmed in Niagara-on-the-Lake. If you want a Niagara-on-the-Lake Christmas movie night, you ready?
Yeah.
You watch The Marriage Ref, and then you watch Escaping Paradise with John Lovitz, Dana Carvey, and Nicolas Cage, who play 3 bank robbers in a small town that can't get out of the town. And it's right at Christmas.
Is it right at Christmas? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
rare.
yeah,
Christmas
these 3
movies
idiot
there.
brothers. But they're both filmed in Niagara-on-the-Lake. I'm just saying for local people.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
they'll Probably get people to go check
You could
those
go to
lights.
Niagara-on-the-Lake, do some Christmas shopping,
Come
get
back.
home, watch those 2 movies back to back. Now, do you know what's another? You know how everybody says Die Hard's a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Okay, by accident, the other night, me and my buddy, we put on a movie. Do you know what other movie totally counts as a Christmas movie if you want a totally bizarre Christmas movie?
What is it?
Dead Zone. Dead Zone is completely a Christmas movie. The entire thing takes place around Christmas. Yeah, the entire thing. I'm like going, there are certain movies where you go, you know.
Another one that people forget about is Batman Returns. The tree
You're
lighting.
right,
It's
that
all
is.
at Christmas.
It is a Christmas movie. Holy crap. I might watch that for
There
Christmas.
you go.
Can I give you a recommendation? If you watch the Tim Burton Batmans, if you really want to really enjoy them in a weird way,
You've told me this,
Yes.
but tell the audience.
turn
This
the
is
color
awesome.
off.
Yeah.
Turn the color off.
That's awesome.
It's wicked. It will be a totally new movie to you.
Nice.
It has that Batman the Animated Series feel
Nice.
when you turn off the color, you know?
Can you turn off the color now?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you can. Yeah.
Back in the old days, you
There's
just
gotta
turn
be
the knob and then
Yeah,
you
there's
can...
got to be color levels on your
Yeah.
remote that could land a plane.
Yeah, hopefully you can get
I remember
back
when
to
the remote
regular-
was a brown box connected to a cord that sat on the
the
table.
coaxial. And you'd have 2 rows.
Two
you'd be
rows,
lucky
and
if
you had
got
to
those other
click
ones.
between the 2 rows.
That was awesome.
It's why we started getting TV from Buffalo. But
Yeah,
Fort
that's
Erie.
true.
Fort
Yeah,
Erie.
oh.
We started getting the Fort Erie channel, and they showed all the great bad B sci-fi movies on
Yeah.
Saturday afternoons, channel 29.
29 I loved, not only for the bad B movies, but they had all the good sitcoms, like the...
Mr. Belvedere.
But even before that, they
Yeah.
showed like the Munsters and the
Oh,
Brady
yeah,
Bunch
yeah,
and
yeah.
Bewitched.
Yeah.
And I was always like, I gotta get it. Brady Bunch is coming out at 3, you know. Have you ever watched the Very Brady Christmas?
No. Because,
You don't want to see what happened to them as they grew up?
They probably don't have the proper Cindy. Is that the one with the fill-in Cindy?
Yeah, because in every one they did, one of the girls didn't show up.
You know, I
Yeah.
remember when the Brady Brides came out.
Brady
that sitcom,
Brides,
I remember that thing.
Yeah, that was
Oh my
awful.
God.
Actually, I have a bootleg copy of it, and it's hard to get
Oh my
through.
God.
It is hard to get. What I love about but we did mention Brady Christmas, so we are on the topic.
Right. And then we'll get back to Christmas.
What
no
I
problem.
love is people are shocked how much I know about the Bradys. But what I
Right.
love is even when they make mistakes,
Yeah.
they actually keep their mistakes in every. So the Brady Brides, the husbands
Right.
they had in there, show up in a Very Brady Christmas, so they don't want to break the canon.
It's a Brady universe.
There it is.
They were doing a universe thing long before Marvel.
Right.
Do you know who did a universe thing long before anybody?
Who?
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Beverly Hillbillies. Because the Beverly Hillbillies spun off Green Acres.
Yes.
And then Green Acres spun off Petticoat Junction.
Junction.
So those 3 shows, all those characters
Yeah.
are interacted. If you watch those old
Yeah.
shows, they all interacted, and I'm like, wow, man. I wonder if they could like just drive a little further on the map, and like the Douglases from Green Acres could end up in Mayberry. You know,
Yeah, you never
I
know,
always
yeah.
went, is there a universe somewhere where all the TV places like actually exist?
Well, if you go by that, there's an All in the Family universe because they had all the
That's
spin-offs.
right. That's
They had
right.
the-
Even down to Good Times. I love it when you have
Yeah.
to draw the chart to show
Oh
them how
yeah,
Good Times
Yeah.
came from All in the Family.
Good Times.
Yeah.
Jefferson.
Maud is Edith's cousin.
Right.
Florida was Maud's maid. Florida went and got her own show, Good Times,
Yeah.
and that's why Maud had to hire Mrs. Tuckett.
I just watched the whole
yeah,
series
yeah,
of
yeah.
Maud.
Oh, that's funny.
Mrs. Nuggatucky.
Nuggatuck.
Nuggatuck.
Mrs.
Yes,
Nuggatuck.
yes.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
those shows always used to do Christmas shows.
yeah, absolutely.
Every
yeah.
sitcom had a Christmas episode, and it would always make you cry somehow. Like, you want to bawl your eyes out? Watch the Honeymooners Christmas episode where Ralph and Alice think they are adopting a baby, and then they don't get
Oh my
the baby.
God,
Oh my
deep.
God! I'm talking to you about it right now, and it just
He's
oh
like
my
welling
God.
up. He's welling up.
Yeah, like I
That's
hate
a pretty
I
good-
hate it when people go like that's an abusive relationship. I'm like going, oh my God, Ralph and Alice had more of the moments that made me choked up between the
Yeah.
two of them than any couple on TV.
Oh yeah, this.
But they were supposed to get a baby and they didn't get one. It was almost worse than when Betty and Barney
I
almost
was
didn't get Bam Bam.
Remember, they were like told, like, you're seeing Pebbles too much. You got to stop going, and then they kind of imply that one of them is like can't have kids.
Yeah!
On like
Yeah.
a cartoon, and they're and then the star goes.
Flintstones did a Christmas special, but it was like within the regular half-hour
Yes.
episodes of the original show.
Yeah,
That
they
was
did.
great.
And they did other ones, but they
Yeah,
were
I
kinda
only
crappy,
like
yeah.
original canon Flintstones.
Yeah.
With the 2 different Barney voices. A lot of people don't notice that, but there are 2 different
There
Barney
is, yeah,
voices.
they changed up.
There's the one that's, hey, Fred, down here, in this register, Fred. And then there's the one, hey, Fred,
Yeah.
we ought to go downtown and talk to Joe Rocket.
Yes.
He's always in on that stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, Joe Rocket's the coolest guy in Bedrock because he came up with the volunteer fire department scam. He came up with the Dipsy Doodleitis, the doctors of plumbers scam. Fred always wants to be his partner at all the picnics and in all the tournaments, and he ditches Barney
Yeah,
for him.
yeah.
I'm telling you,
He's
you
the
live in
coolest
Bedrock,
guy, yeah.
you want to be Joe Rocket.
Yeah. Do you know what my favorite Flintstones episode is? Any guess?
No.
My all-time favorite Christmas is the Dancing Girls, where Fred has to do the two parties. Even as a kid, I knew those Dancing Girls were awesome. Like that scene where Pebble's birthday party,
Yeah.
and they're jumping out of the cake.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's this
Over and over
craziness where they're opening up the fridge and their legs are coming out. What in the hell are these?
Hey, do you bought our Buffalo Fluff for more Texas Cola?
And then the party's dancing with them, you know, and
Oh, God,
it's like
yeah.
scoot-a-doop-a-doop, and then he's like, Barney, I'm just helping them out. I
Oh,
love that. It's just such a crazy episode that it's those Dancing Girls, and every time you hear them, it's dun, 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 dun. We all remember that. One of my favorite Christmas episodes from a TV show is Good Times. They do an alcoholic one that's really awesome. Yeah. Yeah, if you get a chance to see it.
Is it about an alcoholic?
Well, they're excited because they're having...
cry, isn't it?
Not really, but Good Times is fun because they always had this moment where Thelma would always give out statistics, like it's an important show.
Yeah, it's an important show. We're doing important social commentary.
Their cousin comes, and she's always in the bathroom taking baths. But she's got her Listerine bottle, and she's like filling it up with the
thing
booze.
about Good Times was even the way they filmed it in that one apartment. Did it not always look like a play that you were seeing in a small studio space somewhere? Like it was like watching Raisin in the Sun or something. It was like you were watching like an important play from a black drama group.
The things, when me and Mike watch them, what we love is in the early episodes, when the laughter would come, they would awkwardly have to sit there and wait to tell the joke, which is like, I would love in real life if you said something funny, and then I'm letting the audience. And it's just odd that they just sit there for the longest time.
You want to have your mind blown? See if you can get any footage of sitcom scenes without the laugh track. And it is very odd to watch because of the weird, uncomfortable gaps people have from where they're waiting, where the laughter should be, and all this stuff. Because nobody's laughing as much as they laugh in a sitcom. That would mean that you've never stopped laughing.
Especially if it was canned laughter.
Yeah, especially even when I was a kid, I used to notice there was no real joke there. Why are they laughing?
Yeah, or
I just want one sitcom thing to happen in reality for me. That every time I come into a room, there's a whole bunch of applause and everybody goes crazy. You know, the Kramer effect, the Lenny and Squiggy effect. You're that character on the show that when you walk in, everybody goes, woo!
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. What old movies do you watch though?
Like for Christmas?
Yeah. Okay, what's your Christmas Carol?
I like Scrooged. I enjoy the Bill Murray one, but I actually don't mind the Alistair Sims one.
That's the one.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that are like, it's kind of slow. And it's only 90 minutes when you watch it without the commercial.
It's not slow. It's great.
Yeah, I like the feel of it. It's got that old kind of decrepit feel to it.
When I was little, I used to stand on a kitchen chair in a house coat, right? And I would get my brother and my sister to sit underneath the house coat, right? And then I'd go, Mom, come here. I'm going to do the scene from Christmas Carol. And she would come in, and I would open my robe. There would be my brother and sister sitting on the floor, and I would go, who are these children? They are ignorant and want. Beware the boy, but most of all, beware the girl. Have they nowhere to go, Spirit? Have they nowhere to go? Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? And I would do it. My mom would know because it's like a little 9-year-old boy. But I remember that guy going, "These are your children." It's supposed to be a ghost story.
Yeah.
If anybody did Christmas Carol properly, they'd make it creepy and scary as hell.
Yeah. Well, that's what I love about Christmas. Not only do they make specials for people who love Christmas, but The Grinch and Christmas Carol
Black Christmas, Canadian movie.
Same guy who did Christmas Story.
Really?
Bob Clark.
Bob Clark, and he
And
did
you know,
Porky.
Porky.
That's right. That's
You know
right.
you're a true Canadian when you find out. Yeah, Porky's is like, and then he did Black Christmas, and he did thing, and he was only a technical Canadian. I found out recently.
Yeah. There's a lot of those.
He was an American who came up here for the tax bracket.
Yeah.
But he said,
Well, a lot
I
of
could be in America just making regular stuff, or I could come to Canada and be considered a really great Canadian. And so most people thought he was a Canadian
He made
director.
good money.
He did, because he became a well-known Canadian director, but he was like a Canadian citizen, but he was actually American.
Yeah, I wonder if Roger Corman ever made a Christmas movie. I don't think he ever did, but
He
he's
didn't
my
do
hero.
Santa Conquers the Martians. That was,
Oh, Santa Conquers the Martians. Pia Zadora. Oh, it's just great. And they have the scuba gear on their heads and the laundry baskets. I always remember the laundry basket.
That is a movie I cannot believe they have not remade yet.
Oh my God, you can't remake it, but you know what you could do?
You know what they
you
need to do?
could
They have to conquer, actually.
No.
Santa does not conquer Martians in that. He tickles and pokes
Do you know what a
them.
smart person would do?
Yeah, what?
Santa versus the Martians. Was it Santa Conquers
Conquers the Martians.
Santa Conquers the Martians? The musical.
The musical.
That's what they need to do.
I gotta look that up.
It's
That's
like a
gotta
little
be
shop
something,
of
yeah.
horrors thing.
Yeah.
You could do it
It's a
annually
great
at
movie,
Christmas.
yeah.
It'd be great, man.
That movie's so bad. I watch it every year to remind me how bad it is, and then I'm like, why do I put myself through that? But I love it.
Well, you have to.
I saw it at the theater the first time. I remember
really?
matinees. They would put matinees.
Didn't they? Used to
Center
show it
used
in
to
the
show
center?
like 1:00 in the afternoon for like $2.50 or something. My dad would take me,
Right.
and they'd show like Pippi Longstockings, the weird Swedish version.
Like, do you like some of the old black and white stuff? Do you like Miracle on 34th Street?
I do. It's a Wonderful Life. I just watched Christmas in Connecticut, which is so politically incorrect, but I like it.
Oh, yeah. But
you
you know what I always say? People have to remember, this is what cracks me up. Don't rewrite history. Keep history the way it was so you can see how far we've come and how far we
absolutely.
need to go. Like when you were talking about Good Times earlier, right?
Yeah.
They always had a message and the alcoholic. Yeah. I'm like, it's hard for me to explain to my nieces and nephews who are in their late teens, early 20s that when One Day at a Time came on as a sitcom, they put it on later in the evening. And it was a big deal, kids, because it was a sitcom about a divorced mother. And they go, get out.
What show is it?
One Day at a Time.
Yeah, One Day at a Time.
One Day at a Time.
absolutely.
The big deal about that show was it was going to be about a divorced mother living with her 2 kids.
Yeah.
Which you didn't put on television. I mean, it was only 10 years past where you had
Yeah.
to have separate beds. You know what I mean? And I always go, now everybody on TV is divorced. We're banging. He's having an affair. She's gay. He's transsexual. I go, but remember where we were,
Yeah.
Like,
well, when they first came up with the concept of the Partridge Family, they talked about having her as a divorcee, but they said, no, she's got to be a widow.
Yeah, you got to
She's
kill that
got to
old
be a
man.
widow, yeah. What? I know, they do have a Christmas episode.
Do
so
they really?
Yeah, it's one where they get caught into a... The bus runs out of
It's
gas.
always the bus has a
right,
problem.
and they go into this weird... It's like a Western.
I will tell you what I do
It's a
watch
Western.
every Christmas.
Yes.
I watch the Doctor Who every Christmas.
The Doctor Who Christmases?
Yeah.
They have a lot of them.
Yeah. It's
That's
really
a big
wicked.
thing they
I'm
do.
going to watch it this Christmas because this Christmas is the Christmas where Doctor Who turns into a lady and I can watch all the nerds' heads explode.
Like Christmas crackers.
Yeah.
Now,
But that is a big deal.
do
If
you
live
watch
in England?
You
right?
watch modern stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen the Christmas episodes of Mrs. Brown's Boys?
My dad loves that.
Do you enjoy it?
I enjoy it.
Yeah,
but
because I love it.
I never
love
put
it.
it on. But when I go by my dad's house, my dad's always like, "What? He loves Mrs. Brown's Christmas."
Yeah, she's got. It only ran for 3 series, which is
yeah.
only about 6 or 7 episodes a series.
Yeah.
But for some reason they got 9 Christmas specials because it was so big.
Oh, yeah. Well, it lends itself to Christmas, right? It's
Yeah.
a mom and all her kids coming home for Christmas.
Oh.
That's a guy in drag, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted
and he
to make
makes
sure.
jokes, and what I love about it is it's one of the. They actually reference it sometimes.
Oh, do they?
They do, and that's what I love. They break the fourth
Oh,
wall a
wicked.
lot of
Cool.
the time.
Cool.
And you don't expect that from like a European, because I want to say it's Irish or something.
Yeah.
Because,
It's definitely a BBC
Yeah,
show.
because
or
like
something.
there's a part where he says sentimental stuff,
Yeah.
and you literally hear the live audience going, "Oh," and then he laughs at them, kind of like, "Oh, come on, I'm a guy in a frock."
Yeah.
You know, and I love that kind of shit. He's like, "You guys are getting emotional, and I'm not even a woman."
Oh yeah,
and I love it. It's
TV
great.
manipulates you.
Yeah.
It's its job. It's
Yeah.
its job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you say, did you cry when Frosty dies? Of course you do. You're being manipulated towards it. It's Christmas is all manipulation.
Yeah.
It's all manipulation, people.
But it's really great if you get a chance to see it, because he literally, like, he'll actually make his co-stars laugh, and they'll leave it in. And, like, he'll constantly try to do the lines, and he'll just, like, continue. And it's kind of like the old, like, Carol Burnett show when they used to
Oh man, I loved that show.
make each other laugh and that. So.
Yeah, there is no hilarious House of Frankenstein Christmas special,
No,
which
they
is
did not
really
do.
sad.
You know, when I think about it, because I watch a lot of sitcoms or old shows, and we sometimes do a thing where we go around and say, okay, name a TV show, and we'll try to see if we remember if they had a Christmas episode.
Right.
And it's shocking some of the ones that didn't have one, which saddens me. Like Leave It to Beaver, I love. No Christmas episode.
Oh, there isn't. You're right.
No,
There's no
there
Gilligan's
isn't.
Island Christmas episode.
Gilligan's Island has a small little bit with Santa at the end of an episode.
Really?
It's season 1.
Really?
Yeah, it was like the episode has nothing to do with Christmas.
Because Santa could have so ended up on that island by mistake.
Yeah.
So could have ended up on that island by mistake.
I can't think of the name of the episode, but it was almost like that was the episode that aired Christmas week. So the episode has nothing to do with Christmas, and then there's a little brief thing where Santa shows up at the island in the
It's like one of
before
those
the
network
credits.
promo things.
Right.
Merry Christmas from all of us
Right.
here at Gilligan's Island.
Like I
Wow.
Love Lucy's first one had that. At the end, they just put a little jingle bells
Right.
thing. And then later they had an actual Christmas episode later on when little Ricky was around. And they used that snippet in it and stuff. But like most shows, they not all of them are great, but some we like to watch.
Some of them they used to be very forced, eh? Like you would just like
Family Ties had one that was kind of Christmas Carolish.
Yeah, they would. Oh,
where he went, and then he ran out and bought everything at the 7-Eleven because he didn't believe in Christmas, and he bought like the Father of TV Guide.
I say, boy, what day is it?
Beef jerky and stuff.
Go out and get me the biggest TV guide in the butcher shop. Yeah, you know. Oh man, yeah. Christmas is such it's like one of those holidays where you can have an excuse, like on a TV show.
Yeah.
For stuff, even when you talk about pop culture, for gifts you can put out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, nobody's gonna buy Billy Bass the rest of the year, but at Christmas,
Billy,
you go, oh my God, he'll laugh his ass off when he opens that under the tree. You know what I mean? I mean, that's one of the things.
Novelty gifts are huge.
That's one of the things I love about Christmas is some stuff you get is absolute crap that has no other use than you're excited when you open it.
Yeah.
It will end up in a garage sale eventually.
Well, we've come to the place where we have like stuffed pillows that are like big piles of shit now, like the shit emoji.
Oh,
I love
really?
a Santa cat.
I don't
What's
like
that kind of
like
stuff?
I don't like this whole poop in the forefront thing. I'm not enjoying that at all.
I am not, but you see it, I go, oh great, shit with a Santa Claus hat on it. We've come to that.
Yeah, like I don't like emojis.
No,
ever since they did their movie, I refused to speak to them. There was a cash grab.
I like when you got the toys in the McDonald's stuff, but
do you know who I can't?
There was no shit in the McDonald's Happy Meal. Did you notice
of course
that?
Not. You don't
or
sell
the chocolate
that in a
cookie.
I thought that was.
Do you remember the movie Joe's Apartment?
Yeah.
With the cockroaches?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I always thought they should have been in Happy Meals, like little cockroach action figures.
Oh, my God,
Didn't
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, one time you should do a show, McDonald's worst movie tie-in ideas. Yeah, The Shining. Here, we got the little boy on the tricycle, and
That could be a Christmas
we got
movie.
the two girls holding hands. They come together by magnets. Want to play with us? That is a Christmas movie.
It's got a lot of snow in
There
it.
you go, folks. Does
That-
that have actual Christmas in it? Yeah, doesn't it?
There might be.
Yeah, maybe.
But they wear sweaters.
Love
and
Boat
they-
always did a Christmas cruise,
Yeah, they
didn't
did.
they?
Yeah,
Didn't they?
Shara was probably
Didn't
on
they?
it. Yeah.
I used to love the Love Boat.
I
always
did
remember
too. Where else did you
Saturday
see, like,
was
you know-
Saturday was always Love Boat, Fantasy Island, go to bed.
Yeah.
That was the deal. Friday nights, I always had to go to bed after Kolchak the Night Stalker, starring Darren McGavin, who was star of A Christmas Story. Yeah,
I
man.
just watched A Christmas Story.
Have you seen any of the movies they made after that movie about Ralphie and his family? They did like a holiday going to a cabin. Charles Grodin played the
No, I did not, and I refused to watch the DVD right to video cash grab of
Right.
Christmas Story 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch
No.
A Christmas Story 2.
And they just showed the musical on TV.
You watch that Christmas Story 2, you'll put your eye out.
I know. That's such a sweet movie. We actually, I do that show Damien and Devlin,
Right?
and we reviewed that this week. Spoilers.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, he had never seen the whole thing, so it was interesting to see it from his point of view.
Oh, cool. I love it because a lot of it was filmed around here, too.
I know, it's such a feel-good film, and it reminds you, like, I didn't grow up in the 40s, but
No, but it doesn't.
There's a
remind you
lot
a
of
simpler
it.
Time.
but it's still, like, your parents' values
Childhood
are still there.
is childhood.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Childhood is childhood. Like, that whole movie is just about, do you remember what it was like to live as a kid and your life was so hard because the teachers were on you, the adults were on you, the bullies were on you, you had a little brother bugging the crap out of you. All you wanted was a something.
Yeah.
For him, it was a BB gun.
I know.
One year for me, it was the ELO's Double Out of the Blue
Out of the
album
Blue.
and Steve Martin's Wild and Crazy
Yeah,
Guy.
don't forget that.
I never asked for anything, but I told my parents that Christmas, if I don't get those two records, you don't have to get me anything. I'll be okay with a stocking because I'll just be disappointed anyhow. You know what my evil parents did?
What?
They bought me the Steve Martin album. Do you know where I got the Double Out of the Blue album?
No.
3 hours after we left our house to go to my nan and Grandpa Smith's, and they bought me the album.
Oh, so you thought you didn't get it?
I thought I didn't get it, but then I was a good sport, and well, I got the one. So you
Oh,
can't be
okay.
a
So
real
it's
prick.
good you weren't a little prick. And
I
then
wasn't
they-
a little
they
prick.
said,
No,
"Get-
like my
hide
brother
that
and
album."
sister. My brother would get the Consumers Distributing catalog and circle everything he wanted. My sister would get it and circle in red the only thing she wanted, and if she didn't get that, she would die.
Oh, that's very dramatic, but yeah, I know.
Yeah, and then
I
was,
think I'm still like that sometimes. I'm
Yeah?
like, if I don't say that, I don't.
if I don't,
Not this year, but I know in the past I'm like hinting. There's a little rascal set. I need to get this. And
if I don't see it,
if I don't
I'm
see
gonna
little racial
I will hunt someone
rascals
down and
on
kill
Christmas morning.
I will hunt him down and kill him.
Now, what did you usually get in your stocking?
Oh, we always got work socks for stockings
For some-
because then my dad had.
So that was the actual stocking?
Yeah, our stockings. Our entire life, we never had those fancy stockings other kids had.
It was just,
It was always a work sock.
it was a brand new, or was it your dad's?
Brand new, so
Okay.
that my dad, after we were done with our stockings, my mom would have new work socks for my dad.
That's a great story. That's
and
a
my
great
mom
story.
said you can always get more in a work sock than those stupid
There
store-bought
you go.
felt stockings. Because she would always shove an orange in the toe
Yes.
and then stuff all kinds of crap into the foot. Then there would always be an apple or a ball at the heel. And then she would put comic books, which is why my mother wrote,
Nice.
to create a tube.
Nice.
And then she would cram that with all the other toys and candy and
Nice.
stuff in your stocking,
Yeah.
right? Dad gets work socks.
Yeah,
We get
that's brilliant.
because a work sock stretches out
Yeah,
to
it
be
does.
really long. It used to be
Yeah.
great, man. You
That's
know?
awesome. Yeah, I remember. I
Did you
remember
have-
always getting oranges and walnuts, and I
Yeah.
remember like go after I got the little toys and the chocolates, and then I'd take I'd put it on the, because there'd already be a thing of oranges on the table, and then I'd put the nuts in the thing, because I don't eat walnuts.
Yeah, okay, you're going to love this story about my brother Dave.
Okay.
One year, right, where it's the year, I guess, where Dave, pretty sure there's no Santa now. He's pretty sure. I know there is.
Spoilers.
I know there is, but it was the year he was pretty sure there wasn't. He was being a little bit of a prick, like he was being a bad kid. So my mom and dad stuffed his entire stocking, because we'd been told growing up that one year my Uncle Ken was bad, and all he got in his stocking was lumps of coal and a can of Coca-Cola. That's what you get when you're bad.
The Coke wouldn't be too bad.
So my brother opens up his stocking. Mine's full of great stuff. I'm still sleeping because I think I'm like 13 or something. It's that first Christmas where you're going, shut up, I'm trying to sleep, right? He opens up his stocking. It's just oranges and a can of Coke. No, potatoes. Sorry, my mom stuffed his stocking with dirty old potatoes from the potato bag and a can of Coke. So my brother, I just hear him wailing, right? That's what wakes me up. I look over. I go, what's the matter, Dave? He's like, there's nothing but potatoes in my stocking. And I went, Dave, quit your crying. You know there isn't a Santa. You know it's Mom and Dad. And he goes, I know. That's what makes it worse, right? He's crying. And he can't handle it. Yeah, before he loses his stuff altogether, my Mom and Dad show him his real stocking. But that was like one of the greatest Christmases.
No, that's awesome.
When you see your brother fall apart like that, it's horrible for him. But it was one of the greatest Christmases I've ever had in my life. I was like, oh, wow, this is like the greatest prank ever.
That is awesome.
Yeah, but then I watch on YouTube, you can't pull pranks on your kids or they take them away from you. So thank God, thank God my parents didn't film that.
Yeah, well, that was simpler times back then.
You know what's a weird Christmas memory? We used to sit on my mom and dad's bed, open our stockings on Christmas morning, and my mom would go, shut up, when the news came on. And not in a morbid way, but my mother wanted to know how many house fires there had been the night before. Because the news on Christmas morning always has at least 2-3 houses that caught fire.
Yeah.
And to me, that was like a bizarre Christmas memory of mine. But it was always there.
You know what? Your mother and my mother would have got along because my mother used to listen to the police radio. She'd always have one of those scanners.
Okay.
This was her obsession. At all night, she'd listen to it.
Yeah.
So this is how she'd instill fear in us. I remember the first time, she'd be like, okay, you can go with your friends downtown, because usually I'd have to go with my brothers or my father. And finally, she said, okay, you're old enough to go with your friends. So I'm getting my coat on, and she goes, oh, and you might want to stay away from James Street. There was somebody there with a knife.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I'd go down, and she'd be trying to make it, talk me out of it, and she'd be constantly all this stuff, somebody's running around, somebody got stabbed on it, so you might want to avoid James. This is how they taught.
Wow.
This is how my parents...
Wow. That's insane.
I always said my parents taught in a very weird
Before
way.
you leave the house, would you please go through this police blotter so that you know the people you have to avoid?
Well, when you said you got a can of pop, I would have loved that, because we only got pop either when we went to a restaurant.
Right.
The only time we had pop in the house is at Christmas, but they'd call it mix.
Yeah.
And they would, if you were good, you got a can of mix.
Yeah, we had pop in my house, but it was Cots Cola.
Cots Cola.
It was pop you actually had to open with the puncturing can opener.
Oh my God,
I remember when we used to drink the no-name brand before the yellow no-name brands. The generic brands were in white cans, and they just had what it was on the can.
Yeah.
Cola.
That's
it. It cracks me up that now you have to pay $2 for a small bottle of Pop Shop Pop. Meanwhile, back in the early 70s, if you were a kid and you were drinking Pop Shop Pop, it was because your parents couldn't afford Coke and Pepsi, so they would drag their ass to the Pop Shop and get a case of 12. There's a lime, 2 colas, and orange.
Yeah. Now it's kind of like vintage, so you pay extra for it.
Yeah, nostalgia equals people paying way too much for crap.
Absolutely, because Pop Shop is Pop Shop when you were a kid. It was like...
You were a kid, we're poor.
Sure.
We drink Pop Shop.
Now you go into Denninger's and you got to pop shop and
Ooh,
pay ridiculous
and
about
it
it.
sucks because I love the Lime Ricky. That's my thing, man.
That was your
Green
drink
Jello,
of
Lime
choice.
Ricky,
Yeah.
Pop Shop, love the green.
What's your favorite food around Christmas?
Favorite food, macaroons. My Aunt Linda makes coconut chocolate macaroons. I love macaroons. I love breakfast. You get breakfast on Christmas.
I know.
You get breakfast on Christmas. My
It's my
mom
favorite meal of the day.
gave me a great recipe. This recipe is not only great for Christmas, which she does it for, but it's also great if you think you're going to be having an overnight guest, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, and you want to impress them with breakfast, and you don't want to do a lot of cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
You,
This is before you get tired of them. And
mix
you're
up
like,
milk and eggs like
Yeah.
you would for scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
Right? You put 4 pieces of bread on the bottom of like a casserole dish. Pour a little bit of the egg mixture on top of the bread. Then on top of that, right, you pile cheese and bacon and sausage.
Oh.
Then you put more bread on top. You put on some cheese, some bacon, some sausage. You pour the egg mixture over it. Then you do one more layer and you pour the egg mixture over it. You leave it in the fridge overnight.
Really?
Yes. And in the morning, you just put it in the oven. And the whole thing bakes up. And then you can cut it just like a cake. And what comes to your table is some bread that's been soaking in the scrambled egg stuff that's been cooked up in the oven. And in between it is your cheese and your
It's
bacon.
almost like a deluxe French toast. Like a casserole. French toast casserole.
I love it with HP sauce and some stewed tomatoes,
Wow.
man. And I'm like, easy thing to do, right? Easy thing to do. And when you get up in the morning, that's why my mom does it at Christmas. She gets up in the morning, we go to open the presents, she chucks it in the oven. By the time we're done our presents, there's your eggs, there's your toast, there's your bacon, your sausage.
Wow, that's incredible.
I mean, you can be fancy and put onions and green pepper and crap, but
Yeah.
I'm a munchie cake. I don't like a lot on my food or in my food.
Who would have thought
What's-
you'd also get recipes?
What's your favorite food?
At Christmas, we don't, because we do our family thing, we
Yeah.
don't really do the turkey anymore.
Right?
So
Well,
we've
what do
had
you do?
stuff
You
like-
don't eat turkey? What do you eat on Christmas?
We sometimes have like tacos.
Listen to me. You don't eat turkey? What do you eat on Christmas? You heathen.
We've ordered Chinese food.
Have you?
before. Yeah.
You're not allowed to order Chinese food on Christmas.
Is that
because
allowed?
all the Jewish people are ordering the Chinese on Christmas.
Is that why I
Jewish,
can't get
That's
it?
Jewish Christmas.
Is
I
it?
went out with
I enjoy it,
dated
yeah.
a Jewish girl for like 2 years. Loved her to bits. And it used to crap me up because her mom was Catholic. She had to convert to Judaism. Her dad was Jewish. She wanted to be Jewish because her dad was Jewish and she liked the religion. But her mom was Roman Catholic, which meant even though she was born into a Jewish family, technically, because it didn't come through the mother's bloodline, she had to convert.
Oh my god.
So it was funny. Her mom didn't convert, so there was still a Christmas tree in their house. And I was like, really? Like, Kristen, you have a Christmas tree? And she goes, I prefer to call it a Hanukkah bush. And if I allow it to be here on the 25th of December, on top of my Hanukkah gifts, I will get other gifts. So I'm like, okay, I get it. But she told me, no, Larry, because Jewish people don't celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Hanukkah. She goes, the 25th of December, the only restaurants open usually are Chinese restaurants, so we always get Chinese food delivered or go and eat it at the Chinese restaurant. And she goes, because nobody else is going to the Chinese restaurant on Christmas, so we get a table we want. And she goes, and we go to the movies. That's what we do.
Nice.
And then later I saw on Saturday Night Live, they did a whole claymation kind of thing about Jewish Christmas.
Yeah, I remember
And I'm
that.
like, oh my God, what she told me is true. That's,
One of the memories
You
I
make
have.
tacos on Christmas?
We've made tacos on Christmas.
Feliz
just because-
Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
One thing I remember is when we used to go stay overnight in Whitby because my brother's family's there. So
Okay.
we used to go and stay in a hotel. And one time
Wow.
we only had like a continental breakfast.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
We went looking for a restaurant.
Yeah.
And there was actually a Chinese food restaurant that was making breakfast
Wow, yeah.
on Christmas Day. It's the only time they did it. And a couple people were in there, and it was just amazing.
I did
you
a
know?
wedding
Yeah.
where I do my turn a name into a picture thing. I went from
Yeah.
table to table at a hotel up here just past Casablanca Boulevard kind of thing. they have a Christmas dinner going and a Christmas brunch going, you know. And I think it's funny. I guess it's. I always say to people, only you would think the house you grew up in was normal. You know,
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't get that. There are other people that do things that you would think are so completely strange that
Yeah.
they would look at you and go, "What are you kidding?" That's what we love to do every Christmas. Every Christmas we always go for brunch at the hotel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or we always have Christmas dinner at a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's always the same restaurant. You know, like,
I know everybody's traditions are different, and I
yeah,
feel like,
completely different.
yeah, it's when you get into a relationship and you have to start like trying to like, am I gonna take your traditions? Are you gonna take my traditions?
Start divvying up your time. Whose house are we going to for dinner? Who are we going Christmas Eve? You know.
See, we're lucky. Our relatives are far away, so we don't.
Did your
really
mom
see
do
that.
cruel tricks like this? My mom did this cruel trick every Christmas. Every Christmas, we'd be told on Christmas Eve we could open one gift. But my mom had to pick the gift.
Oh,
And do you know what the gift always was?
clothes.
Pajamas. It was always the pajamas you were going to sleep in that night. And every year, just like on Hilarious House of Frightenstein with the sloth and Brucey coming to life again, every Christmas I thought, maybe, just maybe this Christmas, maybe even a candy bar on top of the pajamas, anything. But no, it was pajamas. And what was the cruelest thing was, every year they would buy me hockey pajamas for a few years, when they knew I was an ankle skater and that hockey put me to sleep and that I resented my brother because my dad loved hockey and he could play it and they spent all their time together. Parents, be careful of the pajamas you buy your children.
They might have.
I was like, I'll never live up to these pajamas, and it's not even a sport I like.
So you don't have hockey pajamas now?
I won't wear hockey pajamas now. No.
What kind of pajamas are you wearing? It's for the lady fans out there.
I
I want to
sleep in-
imagine you sleeping.
I sleep in trap pants and a t-shirt. And I always wear boxers because you can drop your drawers when you're wearing boxers, and it's just like you're wearing shorts. So everybody needs to relax. It's funny. Honest to God, you can drop your drawers if you are wearing boxer shorts. Boxer shorts are comedy underwear. They're cartoon underwear. Tighty whities are just weird to look at. They're just weird. And you look like a little kid or something, like you're wearing a diaper. Just so you know, folks, you can drop your drawers if you're wearing boxers.
Wow, Larry, we've learned a lot from you. We got to know you. We got
But
a
button the
recipe.
boxers.
We got a recipe from you, and like comedy gold. You're telling me
I'm
about your
hoping
boxers.
people make that egg thing for Christmas and let you know
It
how
sounds
it went.
wonderful.
Because
Yeah.
it's so easy, right?
Yeah.
It's egg mix, bread. You don't have to do three
And the
levels
good
if
news
you
is
want.
that they can't remember. They can just go back on
Back to your
iTunes or
podcast.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Now, before we go,
Yeah.
plug your Facebook thing again.
Oh, Facebook thing. I think
Do you
it's
remember?
Larry Smith Comedy.
Okay.
It's Larry Smith Comedy. Also,
Is it up now? Like if we go looking
the
for
Facebook fan pages, the web page will be coming.
it? Okay, so we'll look for
Yeah.
that and try to put a link there.
Yeah, and I should let them know I'm at the Warehouse
Yeah.
in St. Catharines on New Year's Eve. And tickets are only $15.
Sweet.
So you can find the Warehouse. We have the Google now and stuff. So find the Warehouse. I'm going to be there New Year's Eve. If you don't know the date, that's December 31st.
It's a Sunday.
Ben Guy's birthday, my dad's birthday. And I'm going to be there with the great Chris Jarvie, the legend of Waterdown.
Ah,
Yeah.
I've never heard of him.
He's very funny, up and coming guy, right? He's got the greatest story ever about the Waterdown Santa Claus parade and how come he's banned from it. It's great. Do you know they have the longest Santa Claus parade in the world?
Waterdown?
Yeah.
Like longest as in length?
Longest, like length. Like
No.
by the time it's done, it's gone
Why?
longer than
How?
any other one. How? Well, he told me they cheat because near the end it's just like trucks with Christmas lights on them. Like we'll put some lights on the garbage truck. Like they pull out every city vehicle
Because they want to
and all
keep
that.
that.
They want to keep that record.
That is hilarious. Now, do you get a meal with this?
And I told him I thought it just felt like the longest Santa Claus parade.
Is it just like a show where you buy drinks and stuff? Or is there
Yeah,
a
I think
meal
there's
or
a dinner and
something?
show, but they're really pushing the show only. I think they've got a lot of the dinner show tickets sold, so they really want to like do the Yeah, if you go to my Facebook fan page, there's all the info.
We will
there.
try to find a link and put it there so you can get to it
Cool.
and stuff. Well, Larry, it's been great. I could talk to you all night. You'll have to come over one night and watch some
Absolutely.
variety shows and stuff. And,
Yeah, man.
Gotta-
Talk about the golden age of variety, man.
Yes, yeah, because I know you're a big fan of that.
Thank
I did watch the. I know we're almost done. You asked me to look up.
Oh, what?
Andy Kaufman interviewing.
Andy Kaufman,
How
did
do
you watch
Yes,
that?
I did. It was so awesome.
Did you see the whole special?
No, I just watched
Oh,
Howdy
okay.
Doody.
Yeah.
But I will watch.
Was that not a
one
weird
time. Yes,
moment?
Yes. And I sent you Paul Lynn, but your Facebook screwed up, so you probably haven't seen it.
I saw
yet.
the Paul Lynn thing.
Did you see it?
Oh, I got to
yeah.
watch that before
Isn't that
Facebook said I
magical?
changed my password when I didn't.
Was that magical for you?
I loved it! How do I get Halloween? Everybody else gets Christmas!
And technically, he starts with a Christmas song at that, so it is kind of Christmas,
Yeah,
where he's going through all the different holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It just cracks me up. They would give Paul Lynn like one of the off holidays.
I know.
Paul, am I getting a Christmas special? No, we're giving you Halloween. Be happy. We gave Labor Day to Chiquita Rivera, you know.
I was watching the guy Bruce Valanche, who was one of the writers on that comedy special.
Oh, he's crazy, that man.
Yeah, and he said that it was funny when he did that because, first of all, he didn't know who Kiss was. They just put Kiss on there, and he was pretending.
Yeah, that's the weirdest special ever. With special guests. And when the announcer's going,
Florence
it's one of
Henderson
those
and
70s.
Kiss.
Florence Henderson. The band Kiss.
Ross, Pinky Tuscadero.
Yeah, oh. Yeah, some people were only famous for like, you know, like not quite 15 minutes, but they
Well, it
were
was-
famous enough just to get a variety show.
It was sad that Ross Kelly, they always had to put Pinky Tuscadero because nobody would know who Ross.
Do you know who Leather Tuscadero was?
That was Susie Quattro.
Susie Quattro.
I know
That's
my
right.
happy
Is she not the mother of Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles? Somebody told me
I
that.
don't know.
Somebody told me that she's the mother
I'm gonna
of one
Google
of the
that
girls
after.
in the one of the girls in the Bangles is her daughter. That's what I heard.
Wow.
I remember.
I'm going to
I
look
remember-
into that. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Larry, thank you for coming.
I need to shut up. So
I
you can
have
stop
you. No,
me.
it's me too. I just
Yeah.
love talking to you. And I hope you have a great Christmas. this
Thank
year.
you very much. Merry Christmas.
Did you have fun today?
Yes.
You had to
Yes.
think about it.
I had a ball, and because you're a friend of mine, I'd like to end on this note.
Okay.
It says right here, got Clarence signed it. It says, no man is poor if he has friends. So there you go.
There
I
you
have
go.
friends. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Larry. And I hope you all have a great Christmas too. And I will see you very, very soon.